Hi, Taurus. I know we are late getting the June reading out. So that eclipse that we had last night, this is the 6th of June, by the way. Welcome to your June reading. That eclipse last night was in my moon sign. So it was extreme, like the whole week leading up to it, because of everything that's going on in the world and everything that's going on in America. This whole last week was just filled with holding space and anchoring the energy and guiding everybody through all of the. I mean, it was a rough week. It was a rough week for everybody out there protesting, and you know, we all have a role to play in this revolution, and we talked about this for your birthday reading about how we all have a particular role to play in this revolution, and it may not necessarily be like in the thick of it, right? So June for you guys is going to be a month where you are rebuilding. Like, you're in this phase of your life where so many things have shifted and changed for you. And we all know that nothing is ever going to be the same again after 2020. We all can see that. It's a very clear perspective that we're having. But you guys are, like, in order for you to remain the peaceful creatures that you are, you have to shift your energy as well. And, you know, with Uranus being in Taurus right now, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. But when a Taurus has made their mind up to do something, you can't change that, right? And you guys are ready. You guys are ready to shift into the new part of your journey. You're like, all right, let's do this. Let's go. I think it's kind of I don't want to call it a reckoning, because it's not that it's it's not that it's particularly hard for you to go through this rebuilding phase in your life. It's just the mere, like, God, do I really have to go through this? Like, I'm so tired. I just want to rest. And so I want you to allow yourself to do that when you get to those moments of, like, I don't even know what to do today, kind of juggling and stuff. Let's look at your cards. We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Swords. And the Page of Wands. There's a conversation that needs to be had, possibly with an air sign or somebody that has heavy air in their chart. The Queen of Swords, Judgment, and then the 2 of Pentacles. I feel like there's a conversation that has to be had because you have decisions that you need to make, and you don't want to bring the dead weight energy with you. You don't want to, and if it's not dead weight energy, then, and you want to bring it with you, that also needs to be discussed. Like, there are a lot of times when we just don't have conversation, and I say we as like earth signs, right? Because I'm a Virgo. So I understand that when there's like an uncomfortable situation coming up and we want to change something about our life or move in a particular direction, it's very hard to actually come out and say that, or come out and proclaim that kind of thing. But Judgment is telling you that you have, like, now is the time to make the decision. You can't keep going back and forth on an issue if you want to feel that comfort of the shift, right? You can't keep going back and forth on, do I say something? Do I not say something? Because it feels like there's a very real chance that you could miss out on an opportunity if you don't take action right now. Like, I feel like there's a really big chance for you to rebuild your life. You're moving with this 3 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. You're moving into a new phase, something that's much calmer than where you've been in the past, something that will probably help you along on your journey and not stifle you on your journey. And the Page of Wands is the one that is the messenger, right? Okay. And Judgment's telling you that you're being taken care of through all of this. You're being very well taken care of through all of this. Let's see what the Three of Pentacles is. You need to start asking yourself where you're placing your energy. Now, if this has to do with work, because we have a lot of pentacles here, if this has to do with a work decision, it's not, the first thing that I would say to you is it feeding your soul? Is it draining your life or feeding your soul? And if it's draining your life, then it's time to release it. That's what these eclipses, because now we have this eclipse. We had this eclipse last night, the Sagittarius moon. We have a new moon in Cancer eclipse on the 21st of June. And we're going to have Mercury retrograde this month as well. So now is not the time for you to keep placing your energy in watering situations that aren't serving you anymore. And so you really have to ask yourself, how is this serving me? How is this the thing that's going to help me build my pentacles up? How is this the thing that's going to help me create the life in the future that I want to create? You have been planting some seeds, Taurus. Seven of Pentacles on the Six of Swords. And I don't want you to feel guilty for wanting to continuously build your future during this time. 2020 is hard. We're going through a revolution. I mean, and it was needed. It needs to happen. This isn't something that was just going to go away. This needed to happen, right? But that's not stopping you. The revolution is it's almost like fueling your fire and making you want to go in a particular direction. And I feel like the conversation that needs to be had, so it could be with an Aquarius or a Pisces or a Scorpio. The conversation that needs to be had with the star and the moon on the Page of Wands is, this is the direction that I'm going in. Are you coming with me? Are you on board? Are you going to be a part of my journey, or are you going to fall off? And this can be with a friend. It could be with a relationship. It could be with a business, boss or whatever. But if it's not feeding your ultimate journey and where you're going, if it's not feeding that and it's doing more of draining your energy, it's time for you to allow yourself to release things like that, Taurus. And the loyalty, I get it. I understand the loyalty, and I understand what it takes to get that kind of loyalty. Now, you could also be dealing with a fire sign. If the Queen of Swords energy is more of your energy, you're being very direct, or they're being really direct with you. But we have the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords here. I literally want to, I keep wanting to say, it's like fire and ice. It's like fire and ice. It feels like somebody in this situation is really, really charged up and really, really pumped up and really, really ready to go. And the other person's like, I don't really so much care for that. So whoever's energy it is that you're dealing with right now, I feel like one of you, and it's probably you, you're ready to go. You're ready to charge. When that bull is ready to charge, you put that red blanket up and that bull will go. And it's like that kind of energy right now is where you just want to make it happen. You just want to go. You want to get to where you're going, right? And the other person isn't so much moving, isn't so much budging, isn't so much creating momentum moving forward. It's like they're sort of stuck in their and their cycle of going around and around and around. So however that resonates with you, there's one person with charging energy and the other person is just like, I could take it or leave it. And I think that that's what you have to decide right now. And maybe that's two sides of who you are. Maybe that's two sides of what, you need to create the kind of momentum. Part of you is just like, I'll just stay existing. Right now, it's just so hard to do anything but just exist. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the sun. I love that the sun came out because after these cards that flew out, I was like, oh, crap. The sun. So clarity is coming, and you'll probably see things much more clear after the new moon in Cancer eclipse that happens on the 21st, because there's not a clear-cut solution to the question that you're asking right now. And that's why you're vacillating and going back and forth and not entirely sure which direction to choose. And I think that the fact that the universe is shoving you now instead of just gently nudging you, like the love nudges that I like to give to you guys, with the Eight of Swords on Judgment, there's more of a fear of the direction that you're being shoved in. And the universe is like, I'm not playing around anymore. You can't stay where you are. It's not possible for you to exist in that space. Then we have the Two of Swords with the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Swords, and this is why I said there's not a clear-cut decision. That Two of Swords she's blindfolded. And when there isn't that clear-cut decision for you to make, you're going to keep vacillating. And the universe is like, it doesn't matter that there isn't like a plan laid out anymore. It doesn't matter. You have to allow yourself to see. And when you're tired, you have got to rest, please. With the Sun and the Four of Swords. You'll find more clarity in the resting moments than you will if you were pushing yourself to go and go and go and go and go. And then because when we're exhausted, we can't think clearly. When we're exhausted, we get overly emotional. We get easily triggered. And so allowing yourself to reset and recharge so that you can go into a new direction, because the new direction that you're creating is the long-term happiness. And you wouldn't think that if this was like a work reading, for most of you, I do feel like it's sort of like it's not a journey. It's sort of like a mission is what it feels like. You're like charging into this new mission. You're charging into this new purpose. And so you wouldn't think that the small decisions that you make, and sometimes they're not small decisions, sometimes they're huge life-changing decisions, but you would think that the decisions that you're making and shifting your life in, just even those small decisions wouldn't phase you as much as it is actually phasing you. So, but with, this is like that first step with the Page of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. I don't want you to get into the illusion that other people will make you happy, or other people will, and it's not that I think that you guys do that at all. I don't. But it's like you want people to change so bad, or you want to believe that they've changed so bad, that sometimes you'll create the illusion of this story that you want them to look like, or you want them to be. And I'm only saying that because it feels like, as I picked this up, that you don't quite believe that Ten of Cups is possible. With the Page of Pentacles there, it's almost like a diminished energy for the earth sign, you, right? So it almost feels as if that Ten of Cups may not be possible, and it totally is. You have to believe that. But if you're around people that aren't growing with you, you know? It can create conflict in your mind. See? The Nine of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. There's some kind of anxiety that the shift in the momentum, but that anxiety, like all of this anxiety that it's creating, that the shift in this momentum that you're doing in your life, all of this anxiety that's creating, is fueling that charge, that spark that you have to push forward and to move forward. And whoever doesn't want to be in your space or in your existence while this is happening for you, not worth it. Totally not worth it. All right. I love you guys. If you would like to be a part of the channel memberships, we are really active over on Discord these days. And you'll get all of the love readings. They usually come out mid-month. I'm hoping I can finish them all next weekend, but there's a lot of stuff, a lot of content. Talk about astrology. I do astrology videos on the memberships. Anyways, it's very inexpensive. That's the best way to get extra information right now. I do have a few personal readings open for June on my website. And I have some astrology chart readings open for June as well on my website. And of course, if you need Reiki, a lot of people need their energy cleansed right now. I also have those options on my website as well. Just everything in that is in the description box. Anything I can do to help you guys, I'm here for. I love you. Please take care of yourselves, and I will see you very soon. Bye.